Well, not every young person goes to college, and some leave high school and begin working in the trades. One Baltimore nonprofit is helping young people find that passion, while also showing them how their passion can change their neighborhoods. Joining us now from the Safe Alternative Foundation for Education's Van Brooks. Thanks for coming by, man.
Thanks for having me.
I love what your program is doing because it's telling young people there are multiple paths in life. Tell me about the effort that you put into it.
Yeah, so when starting my foundation back in 2012, we were working with middle school students, just teaching the importance of having an education and a backup plan for life. And so we opened up the Safe Center, which is a youth center that we've been operating for the past 10 years.
Okay.
And we've always done woodshop classes.
Okay.
And so in the woodshop classes, we were connecting the doc specs to the classroom.
Okay.
Helping them understand that math class, decimals, fractions, why those things are important. And so what we started to see was that it was also exposing them to other things that they weren't aware of as far as the construction industry and the different trades that they could go into. And so fast forwarding up to now, we see that there's a huge need for skilled workers in the construction industry. And it's always been something that we've been doing for the past 10 years, so we decided that, we're gonna open up a whole new center dedicated to providing those other opportunities outside of college, because again, college isn't for everyone. And we want people to have other opportunities outside of, school.
It's that Jedi mind trick of a parent. You trick them into learning. All these things that you've gotten, you can apply somewhere else. I bet there's a bit of confidence that comes out of that room when they figure out, oh, I get it now.
Yeah, when you see that light bulb go off for them, and that's everything, because that's when they really start to want it more. Because okay, when can we go back to woodshop classes? What more can we do? Because they're starting to understand like math is really important outside of just money. It's really important, and once they see that, it's they're locked in from there.
10 years in the same location. Yesterday broke ground on a ribbon cutting actually for a brand new center.
Yes.
What does this center afford for you and allow you to do that you couldn't do before?
So the center allows us to have an impact on a lot more people.
Okay.
As I mentioned, we were working with middle schoolers for the past 10 years, but now we're going to be going all the way up to young adults, 18 plus, being able to provide trade certifications to them, starting with carpentry, and just giving them again an alternative to what they do or don't have currently in the community.
What I like about the mission statement is it's not just about the person, it's about the community as well.
Absolutely.
What do you want them to take out of that workshop and then back into Park Heights, Patterson Park, wherever they're from?
The skills that they're going to be learning. So again, we're going to be teaching carpentry skills. A part of the program is to help them. I want to help them, show them that they can, use those skills right in their community. And so we have some vacant houses that they're going to be rehabbing as a part of the trade certification. And so they'll see right in their own community the sweat equity that they put in. And hopefully that'll spark something in them to share with others, share with their friends, their relatives, that they too can participate in this, get these trade certifications and make a difference directly in their community.
And they're not just watching people work in the vacants when they go there.
No, they're going to be doing it.
Okay.
They're going to be, and it's a part of the training.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing it.
Tell me about a success story. I'm sure there's somebody that stands out to you that you saw as a kid and then saw them bring all this to life for them.
Yeah, so the one that I always go to, we have a kid named Corey.
Yeah.
He started with us in the 6th grade. He just recently graduated from the University of Notre Dame.
Man.
And so, he is, a great example of when someone's locked in and they're dedicated to the things that we're providing. The possibilities are endless.
I've also seen with kids, once they have a bit of success, it is almost contagious to the one who's not in the program. The one who's not in the program is now asking, hey man, how can I get in there? How can I be part of it? Do you see that as well?
We do. In Corey's case, he made sure his little sister came.
Oh, yeah.
And we have other stories like that where we work with literally all the kids in the family. When they become of age, they can't wait to get into the program. And so, that success is definitely contagious, and other people want to be a part of it. Not only just the kids, but families.
Yeah. Is there room for someone to volunteer? So let's say I'm a carpenter or electrician, and I say, listen, I have 2 Saturdays, I can give you a month. Is there a way for them to be part of this as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We're definitely looking for volunteers to come out and participate. They can go on our website, www.safealternative.org, and can sign up right there.
Okay, and for the kids also, so somebody's mom or father is watching this right now, what should they do to be in contact with you? And what, is it worked through the school or is it directly with you?
So it's directly through my nonprofit.
Okay.
They can go to our website again, and all the information will be there to get in contact with us and to enroll.
And I'm sure they're wondering, after school, weekends, a little bit of both? Or what do you offer?
So right now we're after school.
Okay.
But then the young adult program will take place during the day.
Okay.
And so then there's also summer opportunities for high schoolers.
I love it, man.
Yep,
I love it. Good to see you.
Likewise.
Thanks for coming by.